First and foremost, let's begin with an indisputable fact. All humans deserve to be paid for their labor. Let that sink in for a moment. The word labor is important here. The majority of the institutions of fine art know this fact, but have little intention of allowing artists to be made aware that they can and do deserve to be paid for their labor creating art. Despite this gaslighting, more and more artists are becoming aware that regardless of whether or not their product is sold, they should still be paid for their labor. Which is why art institutions have recently ramped up their education, telling artists, art galleries' only source of free labor, that making art is a privilege and that the only way to make a living doing art is to be an entrepreneur. A word here that means gaslighting artists to believe that they do not deserve to be paid for their labor. They use terms like paradigm shift to describe how awful it is to be paid a salary. Do not be misled by this outdated programming. The truth is that if art galleries kept 100% from the sale of the art that they sold, and only paid artists for their labor, artists would be making 3 times more than they do from the sale of their art as an entrepreneur. Okay, here's the math and statistics. The average time it takes to create a work of art from conception to finished product is 1 to 2 months. All artists work at different paces, but most artists claim the entire process takes at least a month of labor, even when spread out over a longer period of time. The national average price of the fine art sold in moderate to high-end art galleries in the United States by rookie and journeyman artists is $3,000 to $4,000. There is a wide range in these statistics, and it varies between $50 and $30,000 depending on a lot of factors. $3,000 to $4,000 ended up being a number that most of the statistics average out to. The average art gallery takes 50% of the retail price of a sold piece of fine art. There are actually so many high-end galleries that take 60 to 70% that it almost skewed the bell curve. But including mid-range galleries in the statistics averaged out to 50%. Because every state handles taxes differently, I chose to not include taxes in the math. But just bear in mind that taxes are also a factor in the life of an artist. One necessity to get into a gallery is to have an art manager. Most galleries will not talk to artists and will only deal with an art manager. Art managers typically take a cut of 20%. This amount is based on the total sale amount, yet taken out of the remaining amount after the gallery takes their cut. Yep, you heard that correctly. So let's look at an average work of art sold in an average art gallery. Sale price, $4,000. Check written to the artist, $2,000. Amount taken home after the manager's fee, $1,200. $1,200 for a month of hard, skilled labor. That is if the art sells. And remember, this is based on statistics of artists who have access to sell their art in high-end art galleries. If their art does not sell, then the artist worked that month for free. Although, to be fair, in that case, the art gallery didn't make any money either. What fine art institutions are failing to tell artists in all of their education that they are doing is that an average single American middle-class monthly salary based on the U.S. median income is $4,354. That is how much the average artist would be making if they were paid for their labor and then just gave their art away. If artists were paid for their labor alone, they would make on average over $3,000 more per month than they do from the sale of their art, even at high-end art galleries. So, what can you do with this knowledge? Well, the next time you are at an art gallery, or attending an art fundraiser, or at an art seminar about how to make a living as an artist, ask this question: do all humans deserve to be paid for their labor? If their answer is yes, then ask them why they choose not to pay artists for their labor. The good news is that artists do, right now, have access to being paid for their labor. There are businesses that see artists for more than just free labor. These businesses allow artists to play with arts and crafts on a massive scale as a full-time paid job. The artists don't even have to sell art, and they still get paid. It is called commercial art.